Does tennis elbow ever go away? Now, for those of you who don't know what tennis elbow is, so briefly, tennis elbow is pain on the outer side of the elbow here, which can go down in your forearm and down into your tendons here. So basically, these ropey tendons that you see here that are going into your forefingers, and it can cause a lot of pain and discomfort for people. And it can be quite a painful condition. It can stop you in your tracks, really. It can stop you from your daily activities, from your profession if it involves using your hands a lot. So, there are many people who have tennis elbow and then it gets cured and it comes back again. So, does tennis elbow really go away? We are going to address this in the video today. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who are working as executives manage the physical pains that comes from being a mom, be it starting from your pregnancy to childbirth and beyond. Whether your kids are toddlers or a little older or tweens. So the moms who are working have the additional stresses, physical and mental stresses, of sitting on their desk from the 9 to 5 or maybe longer hours, extensive traveling, managing their team at work, etc., etc. Once they come home, there's no stopping for a mom, so they have their mommy duties to do. So all this can add up and lead to issues like back pain, neck pain, heel pain, or maybe when you're overusing your hands, you're typing at work all day, all those emails, meetings, or if you're one of those like me who like to write, you do end up with repetitive stress on your tendons, which will then translate to your elbow because these are in continuation and they attach at the elbow here. And this can lead to tennis elbow issues. It's not just tennis players who get tennis elbow. Now, there are many people, as I was saying before, who have had tennis elbow. They have managed to be pain free with whatever they have done for their tennis elbow. They managed to be pain free for a few months, probably a few weeks, and or a few years, and they feel okay, they're over that bump in life and they are done with tennis elbow. But then it comes back again. Like, it's one of those things that can come back and haunt you. So it is a very gray area. There's no definite yes or no when it comes to tennis elbow, whether it can come back or it can be cured permanently. Now, this is especially true if you have a job that involves using your hands a lot, especially repetitive activity. So when I'm typing, the stresses are on my fingers, but these stresses will translate back into my muscles that are attached to the outer elbow here. And these stresses will again aggravate my tennis elbow problem. So it depends on what your everyday activities are. I mean, the whether it comes back or not depends on what you are doing every single day. And also, what say you are you are a baker, or you like to do baking in your spare time, and you are mixing some, say, a cake batter, right? You're using your hands, or you're pouring a heavy jug of water or liquids. These actions, repetitive actions, can flare up your tennis elbow. If you want to look more into what is tennis elbow and what sort of a brace should you use, etc., etc., I've done a lot of videos on this. You can go to YouTube and type my name and tennis elbow, and all the videos will come up. You can have a look there. And of course, if you like something, you can always like and subscribe to my videos. And yeah, so I was saying it depends on what activities are you doing every day. So now, um, I'm also going to give you 3 simple tips that you can do every day to prevent these tennis elbow problems from recurring if you are presently pain free, right? Or if you have got a recurrence of tennis elbow, what can you do? So these 3 tips are going to help you. Firstly, if you're one of those who are typing, as we were saying, get uh, an alarm clock or put an alarm on your phone. Take a break every 15 to 20 minutes. Do a few stretches for your tennis elbow issue so that the stresses on your muscle or your tendon, that's the main sorry, that's present in your forearm doesn't build up, right? So firstly, take a break from those repetitive activities. So if you can, if it's not a part of your job and it's something additional like a hobby, try and like tweak it around. Maybe not do it every day, but do it every alternate day, probably once a week if possible, depending on what it is. So firstly, you need to avoid those repetitive activities. If not, then you need to take breaks from those repetitive activities. So that's tip number one. The second tip is, if you have learned some stretching exercises when you had tennis elbow, which everybody does, it's a very standard treatment protocol, you need to do those exercises every single day without fail. You don't need to do the whole lot, but talk to your physical therapist, or if you don't have a physical therapist, if you want to ask me about the exercises, comment on the video and I'll be happy to guide you and give you a basic set of exercises you can do those exercises on an everyday basis if you want to prevent a recurrence in the future. Now, this is not something that's going to take up a bulk of your time. It's probably going to take a few seconds, and that's it, not even a minute. So, it's probably going to be under a minute. So, second tip is keep doing those stretching exercises. Do not leave those. The third tip is, um, what did you do when you first had the tennis elbow and you got relief from the tennis elbow? Was it a hot pack? Was it a cold pack? Was it braces? Was it just the stretches? Was it improving your sleeping posture? What was it that gave you relief when you first had tennis elbow? Maybe if you are now starting to feel that niggle of pain and you feel, oh, my tennis elbow might come back, if you are skeptical about it, maybe go back to those things and do them probably one at a time and see, like it's what sticks, rather what works for you this time. So for example, I like to write with pen and paper. So I've been writing, say, 1 hour continuously. I'm just pouring out my thoughts on paper, and I didn't notice, I did not take a break. And I have got a pain coming into my forearm here. And I'm like, oh gosh, is my tennis elbow coming back? So the last time I had it, I tried a cold pack, and this is exactly what I do. So I use a cold pack on my forearm, and that helps to ease whatever inflammation has happened, and that helps to prevent that recurrence of tennis elbow. So just when you start to feel that little bit of pain coming on, do what helped you the very first time when you had tennis elbow, right? So these were the 3 tips that I wanted to tell you today. And yeah, if you have any questions about the stretches, the brace, the cold packs, hot packs, all that is on my YouTube channel. Also, I have a free community where I am running a training. It's a free training on tennis elbow. We have been doing that. Today is day 7. If you're watching this in the future, the training does live in my community forever. So if you want to jump into the training where we talk about all these things that I spoke about right now, plus much more, you can join my community. I will leave a link in the description of this video. For those of you watching me on Instagram, the link is in my bio. When you click on my bio, it'll take you to another page. Just scroll down and you can hit my community. It'll take you there. So, alrighty, I hope this was useful for you. So, it's not the end of the world if you've got your tennis elbow problem that has come back, or if it's the first time that you have tennis elbow. Um, it's it's not that it's not curable. It's just that you need to know what are the right things to do. You don't have to jump into taking an injection. You don't have to jump into surgery. Try these methods first, unless of course, I mean, your doctor has advised you to do otherwise. Try these methods first, and once you've tried and tested them, if it doesn't work, then fine, go ahead and do what you have to. Alrighty, I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.